For years, it seemed like every day I was receiving mail addressed to former tenants. I couldn't help wonder about the people that lived here before me. I've only lived here for 7 years, but this building is over 100 years old. I found it on Craigslist, moved in with a random roommate. He moved out a year later. I moved from a few blocks away, so I've been in Bed-Stuy for over 10 years. 5 floors, 20 units, old-timers, newcomers, have lived here anywhere from 1 year to 67 years. Several adults living here have actually grown up in the building. Rent stabilized, not much turnover lately. 1 apartment, 1 building, 1 very dynamic Bedford-Stuyvesant.
When I came in Bed-Stuy, it was very few blacks in Bed-Stuy at that time. When I was young, if you walked across the street or any block in Bed-Stuy and black, the police would walk up to you and find out, where are you going? Now, I experienced that in my time. That's right, I'm 87 now. I was born in 1930. It changed quite a bit, and then it started changing fast. As black starts moving in, white start shifting out. That's the way it was. That's the way we saw it. That's what I saw it. That's how the big changes start changing.
Bedford-Stuyvesant certainly has changed a great deal, and this building is no exception. It used to be called the Ivy Castle, and it consisted of 11 units and had an elevator in the building. In 1914, the Ivy Castle was sold. A few years later, the owner submitted requests for changes. That's when it was converted from 11 units to 21 units, and the elevator was removed. I found an old ad from 1935 looking for specifically white domestic help. Then I came across another classified ad from 1941 saying open to colored. I didn't intend to live in Bed-Stuy when I moved here over a decade ago. I was kind of scared of the neighborhood, mostly knowing its reputation from watching Do the Right Thing in high school. This was just the neighborhood where my friends found a great duplex that we could all afford right after college. But then I started interacting with my neighbors, store owners, started filming for a local business, and I became attached.
I like pictures of other people, but not taken of me.
Catherine didn't want to appear on camera, but she has a lifetime of Bed-Stuy stories to tell.
I've lived here 58 years as of today. I moved in here December 6, 1959. I grew up in Brooklyn, so I came right from around the corner. I'm a Bed-Stuy person. When I moved in here, it was black. I don't think there was any white in here at all when I moved in. And it was a black landlord.
It still is.
Oh, I thought it was the most wonderful building. The bricks were still nice, not all chipped up and all the way it is now. You come into the lobby, that was another door, not that stuff they have down there now. It was a door. I don't know what he put that thing up there for. It doesn't do anything. And then on the wall, both sides was a mirror. And it had the chandeliers with the teardrop chandeliers.
In the 70s, I lived in this community before. And in the mid-90s, I returned. Actually, when I moved here, there was a lot of elderly people living in here who reside in here like for most of their lives. I saw a lot of people leave out of here in body bags too.
Hi, Rebecca. It was April 8th, a very rainy day, but it was a very happy day. There were some younger people here, but only a few. Over the last 2 or 3 years, it seems to me that younger people that are here are thinking of this place as a long-term thing, like something where they actually want to be.
I was supposed to be one of those short-term renters, starting with a 1-month sublet. I was particularly curious about the people that inhabited my apartment before me, and was able to connect to the former tenant that I replaced, but never met.
So I lived in this room. This room is a little smaller than I remembered it, but the ceilings are higher. There were like we're sorry, but we did a lot of work on the place. Sorry, it has to go up to 1280. I was just like, what was it before? I guess you know.
It was 201 in 1984.
So
But
it
it
was,
jumped 500, I think, before you.
You know, when blacks started moving in, there used to be A&P, and used to be a fish market, there used to be a meat market, disappeared. The things that was on the shelves before disappeared.
Sometimes I'm amazed by how stereotypical gentrification is. Years back, I remember seeing vegan pastries at a store, and my thought was, too soon. Yet somehow, they're still around. I've always been comforted by living in a rent-stabilized building and knowing that my neighbors and myself have protection from the increasing costs of living in the neighborhood. But the sad and unfortunate reality is that luxury is not available to everyone. When the neighborhood gets masked in new stores and buildings, I wonder if we're trying to hide the problems that are still existing on the same streets. Poverty, crime, economic disparity.
I actually learned how to discern fireworks from shots during those years. The pop, 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 or like, you know, the puff, puff, puff.
When I did see a lot of police around here at that time, I was like also realizing like, oh, that's for me. You know, maybe that's an overstatement, but I realized that the dynamic was so that I could live in the neighborhood like this, basically.
The neighborhood is different now. See, a lot of young white people have bought houses in the neighborhood now. Now, this is no talk. This is what I know from friends, my family. They would come to you in the hospital, offer you money to take your house, cash. That's how they did it. And that's what made it bad. That's all these houses got bought up. I never wanted a house. All I wanted was one door.
It's normal that some people may get offended by seeing the gentrification or whatever, but I believe in the melting pot in which people all come together, combine, and live, share, and build. Yeah.
I feel it should be a mixture, because a mixture makes better, if it's going to stay better.
And so it goes. Our building, like so many others in the trajectory of gentrification, has been sold.
You have no obligation to talk to them.
We don't know all the details yet, but some apartments have been offered buyouts. After learning about the offers, we decided to meet regularly as a group to share status updates and learn our rights. Fortunately, as a rent-stabilized building, we have legal protections to keep us at home, here. We formed a tenant association and are going through it together as one beautiful, complicated community.